on film.
Excited too. I guess we've already started.
Sorry, I just hit record, but you can
That's,
obviously edit this out. But yeah,
uh,
I'm just gonna go and I'll give you a chat warning when we're about 2 minutes out, and then we're good to go.
I'm so excited about Anna Film as well. I can't wait to have you here.
I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Congrats. Have you ever been to Atlanta?
Yeah, yes, I have. I shot a music video there. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, great. Well, congratulations on Plainclothes. I saw it at Sundance, and like everyone, I really, really loved it. So I'm really happy we're showing it. Tell me just a little bit about how the film came up.
Yeah, so let me pin you really quick. Yeah, I read an article in the LA Times about a sting operation in Long Beach, California.
Yeah,
And this was in like 2016 when I read the article.
yeah.
And this sting operation happened in 2014, and it started making me feel very nervous. And it brought up these feelings of anxiety that I experienced growing up that I didn't realize were related to my queerness. And this all was when I read the article. I had just come out a few years before,
Yeah.
so I started feeling very unstable again. And I, instead of like running from that feeling of anxiety, I just took a deeper look at it, and I was like, where did this come from? And I kind of just traced it back to when I was a boy growing up in Syracuse. Yeah.
So Lucas is such a obviously complicated character. Um, can you sort of talk about all that he's dealing with because he's sort of walking such a a moral line between what he's doing and his attraction, but sort of talk to me a little bit all the complications of Lucas.
Well, I think Lucas really represents like me and my brother and my friends. He's, I feel like when I started writing this movie like 8 years ago,
Yeah.
I was imagining like him, I was imagining myself kind of sitting in front of me and having a dialogue with
Yeah.
myself. And then as the years progressed, he kind of morphed into this person um, that is now played by Tom. And I think he's someone who struggles with anxiety. He struggles with someone who's just been suppressing his feelings, and he is looking for love, and he's not getting the kind of love that he needs. And so that sense of longing, that longing for the connection, like that's something that he's kind of going through in my film. Yeah.
So obviously his life gets more complicated when he meets Andrew. Can you sort of talk about the complication of Andrew?
Oh yeah. Well, Andrew, who's played by Russell Tovey, he has his own secrets, his own life, and what I love about him though is, and what I wanted to represent on screen is I wanted to show how how people in the queer community support each other and how they look out for each other, that even in ways that like even if you fully can't look out for someone in the ways that you want to because of your own limitations. I wanted to show how Andrew was kind of like shepherding Lucas in to the queer community in like a loving and thoughtful way. And I feel like that was kind of like what I got to experience in my own experiences, and I wanted to show that on screen. Yeah.
These two characters, are making a connection at a time when they're both dealing with a lot of inner demons, but also it was a different time, 1997, where things were a little bit different. Talk to me about that time and the extra layer of challenge that presents as these two are trying to get to know each other and see each other.
Well, I mean, I love that there was no phones. That was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
As narratively speaking, it was so much easier for me to tell this story. There was beepers, but um, yeah, I mean that was the biggest thing. No phones. I wrote a version, or I started writing a version that was set in 2014, but it was all set. Everyone was just on their phones, and I was like, I don't know, it wasn't as fun to write. But like revisiting the 90s was very therapeutic for me. That was when I was a boy and when I started suppressing my feelings. So it was good to go back and like look at that time in my life straight on.
So talk to me about Tom and Russell because they're both so very good, in these roles.
Oh, I mean, they're just amazing to work with. Tom and Russell, there's so much love. There was so much love on our set that, it was so real. We just all made the conscious decision to like show up for each other and
Mhm.
support each other. And I just think it shows in their chemistry and their leadership and how it kind of trickled down to the rest of the cast. It was just it's they won Best Ensemble at Sundance, and
Yeah, yeah.
think that I understand why they really acted as a unit. There was really no egos, and that's how Russell and Tom are. They're two of my favorite people in the world, truly. You'd think that like looking up to someone like Russell, for most of my life, really, I've watched his work. You'd think he would be a diva, or like you'd think he'd be like tricky, but he's really not. Like he's genuinely an incredible person. And I told him like I feel so lucky to be alive in a time where he is as a gay man. To look up to him in that way, it's such a gift. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this Sundance award-winning ensemble because it is so layered. There's so many great, but just talk about the other people in the movie,
Yeah.
other than
Maria Dizia, who plays the mom, who plays Marie, she would walk on set and people like she just has this energy. There's no way to describe it of just like queen energy. Like she just walks in and but she's so gracious and she bought us food. Um, we'll be going in. Oh, sorry, I saw a chat. She bought everyone food like on our long day, and she just she taught me. I really learned how to be a better director by working with her. Same with Amy Forsyth and Alessandra Ford Balaj. Alessandra and I were college roommates. She plays Uncle Jesse's girlfriend or Uncle Paul's girlfriend. Um, Gabe Fazio, who plays Uncle Paul. Like getting to work with all of these actors was just yeah, they never, no one treated me like I was a first time director. They loved the script and they believed in me and the project, and they were just such a joy to work with. Yeah.
you were sort of the Sundance it boy. I mean, congratulations, but your film made
Thanks.
such an impression, and you won awards. But I mean, what was that experience like? Debuting and getting such acclaim, and then winning these awards on top of that.
Oh, it's so wonderful. And I'm trying to remind myself to have fun because oftentimes my anxiety still just it gets in the way. It's a barrier to me enjoying things.
Yeah.
Um, I some days I just like don't look at my phone and I just like live in the moment and I say like, I'm really glad you stuck with writing this script and I'm glad you saw it through because it was really hard and it was really lonely a lot of the times. But there was nothing like Sundance being with my cast and crew and getting to celebrate with them. It's been such a joyous experience.
Um, something I was talking to Tom and Russ about earlier is that the fact that this film feels so mature, confident, and you're a first time director. But what do you attribute, this film? I mean, as a first time director, how did you approach this, and what were your tricks?
I guess I mean it started with the script. I never wrote a script before, so I wanted to make sure that the script was sound.
Yeah.
And that was hard. Like writing was really hard. But now I fell in love with it. I set out to just direct. I never wanted to be a writer director. But now that I'm here, I'm like I kind of love writing and directing. Or directing what I wrote. I guess the tricks. I went to USC Film School, so I had a lot of nuggets from my time there, from
Yeah.
professors. Um, ne- uh, Saying perhaps instead of giving a yes or a no sometimes is very helpful because
Yeah.
you can leave things open and leave people open to be creative. Um, I think like running breathing exercises on set I found was very helpful, especially if we were like, we have an hour and a half to shoot this scene, go, go, go. Just kind of taking 30 seconds for everyone to breathe together was crucial.
Exactly.
Um, and I think my number one rule on set was no yelling.
Yeah.
I said that unless you are in danger or someone's in danger, there's no reason to yell. And I think that set a tone of peace on set that was really important. It was really important for me to create that family environment.
Great. All right. Thank you again for the conversation today. Congratulations on Sundance. And I so can't wait to meet you next weekend at Down on Film.
Yeah, the 27th. I'll see you there.
Thanks so much, Carmen. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye. See you.
Thanks, everybody.